Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we've got another Gadget Haul video to do today, but this one is from a different retailer than the ones we've looked at in the past. I recently started playing around here with something called Flip. Now this looks like TikTok, but it's not TikTok. It lives inside of its own app, and this is a social shopping platform that kind of got started in the health and beauty space, and now they're getting into gadgets. And the way this works is you buy something, and then they want you to upload a review of the item to the platform here. In fact, you could review something and then return it. They've got a nice, generous return policy. And when you do the review, they will actually monetize the video for 30 days. You actually get paid just based on the viewership of it. In addition, they will also share with you sales commissions from people who buy things from the video that you uploaded. And then on your second order, after you made your first one, you can actually get free items provided you reviewed an item or two from the first order that you did with them. And some of the free stuff is actually really, really good. So I wanted to share with you how this platform works, but also some of the stuff that I got out of it, just because I'm not sure how long they can sustain this business model for, given how good it is for the consumer side of things. And you may want to jump into it while you can here. And I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, I got some disclaimers here. Flip did reach out to me a couple of weeks ago to see if I'd like to play around with their platform. You can only review things that you bought from them, so they provided me with about $150 in seed money, plus a small bonus to get started, so I took advantage of that. After that first free order, though, I came back on my own and just bought a bunch of stuff and then took advantage of the free items that you can get on your second order. So I'm going to show you what it's like from the consumer perspective as well. They did not ask me or pay me to do this video. I'm doing this completely on my own. They are not reviewing or approving what you're about to see before it was uploaded. I don't have any additional compensation coming in from them at all. I just think it's an interesting platform, and I wanted to share with you how it all works. So what we're going to do in a second here is look at the platform, and then we'll look at the stuff and get going from there. And all the opinions you're about to hear are my own. So let's get into it now and see what Flip is all about. All right, so here we are on the home page of Flip, and the first thing you're going to see when you boot the app up are reviews from other customers. So it's very much focused on this video model. This, of course, works really well in the beauty space. I'm not sure how well it works with consumer electronics, where buyers are a little more intentional and browse a little less, but we'll have to see how this works over the long term. Now, I want to direct your attention, though, to these numbers up here at the top. You see that it says $20.51. Every time I watch one of these videos, that number increments. And what this is a discount amount that you're eligible for over time. So every time you watch a video as a customer, you get a little bit that you can apply against future orders. Now, you can't use this all at once all the time, but you can earn up to 30% off each item, provided you have accrued money in that bucket from watching other people's videos. And that you will get without having to make any videos yourself. Now, I have found the pricing on Flip can sometimes be a little more than Amazon, but when you have this discount, it certainly goes down lower than that. So some of the prices are competitive, others are a little on the high side. So it's still important to be an educated consumer here and make sure that even with the discount, you're not paying too much. But generally, in my experience, you will be ahead of the game, provided you watched a few videos on the platform first. Now, there's also a search button down here where you can search for things directly. You will find that their inventory is not as robust as other retailers, but you should be able to find some things. I can search for cameras here, for example, and that will give me a whole bunch of cameras and accessories. You have the ability to filter things down a bit further so I can look in specific categories. Unfortunately, the categories are not linked to the search that you made, so you'll see categories that are outside of cameras, for example, here. But you can attempt to drill in a little bit further if you browse through all the different options there. Additionally, you can narrow things down to a specific brand. So if I just wanted to see cameras from Kodak, yes, they still make cameras, I can select Kodak here and apply that and only see the Kodak cameras. Now, of course, these are not from the Kodak we all remember. These are licensed products, but still, you can narrow things down by brand that way. So it's still very much a platform that is focused on browsing first, searching later. But if you like browsing and you're looking for a type of item, I think you can drill through here and find something of interest. And then when you click on the item, you can pull it up here like you would on other platforms. If people you know that are on Flip have purchased it already, it'll tell you that in here. So you can maybe ask them a question to see if it's something worth buying here. You can also see how many of these were ordered, what the keep rate was. In other words, how many people kept it and didn't return it, and how many are sitting in shopping carts right now. And then you can see all the user reviews here too. So it's pretty cool, I think, and very much focused around consumers helping each other out with their buying decisions. Now there's one issue here, and this might be a deal breaker for a lot of you. It doesn't look like there's a way to mask purchases from other users on the platform. So let me show you what I mean by that. When I am looking at these laptop stands here, I see that one other user has bought these. And if I tap on that, I actually get a list of people who bought this product previously. And as you can see here, Art2D2 purchased this, and I can actually send them a message. And I understand that's how this platform is supposed to work. It is social shopping, and they want shoppers to communicate with each other about how they feel these products are working for them. But if you're somebody who likes to keep your purchases private, this is probably not the place to do it. You can make your entire profile private, but that kind of eliminates a lot of the benefits of being able to post some video reviews. So it would be good to see some way to hide certain orders from being public versus others. I haven't found a way to do that. I may have missed it earlier, so if I'm wrong, I will update things down in the comment section. But that's one area that I think might be a deal breaker for some. It's kind of like those public things in Venmo where you can see your friends sending money to each other. In this case, I'm not even following this guy, and I can see that he purchased this. So just keep that in mind. It might be a bridge too far for some of you for sure. But if you're somebody who likes to share your opinions of products like I do, it's probably not as big of a deal, provided you're careful about what you're buying on here. Now I'm going to add this to my shopping cart. And if I go to my cart, you can see that I've got the option here to get 3 free products. And if I tap on this, I will get a big list of things from their free shelf. And if I spend $150, I can get 3. You can get 1 item if you spend $60. So they have a little bit of a ladder here. Now what I'm going to do is apply the electronics category to the shelf here to narrow my choices down. And some of this stuff is cheap, but some of it's actually pretty good. And as you'll see in a few minutes, I got some high-ticket items here for free. And you just have to kind of browse around a little bit. You can also narrow things down by brand. This works pretty much like how the search works. So I could apply just Anchor, for example, here and get some Anchor accessories if I want. Or Logitech or some of the other brands that are on the platform. And they keep adding things all the time to this, so you can build that up. Just make sure as you're checking out, you don't forget to do the free stuff because it won't bug you to get your free items. You have to go in there and actually add them. Otherwise, you miss out and you can't get them after the fact. So if you go beyond the $150 minimum for 3, you can pick 3 things out of that shelf, and you'll get a big box full of stuff or a couple of boxes delivered to you with those free items. Now, one thing before we look into the haul here is that on my last order, I spent $150 and I got initially 3 items that I could add to my cart. However, one of those items, an HP monitor with a nice built-in webcam, was out of stock and they canceled the order. And there's no automated way to go in and reorder something else. So I had to contact their customer service who asked me to go through and find something from the shelf and tell them what I wanted. So they don't make it easy for you if some item is not in stock, but the other items that I ordered off the free shelf did come in. So with that out of the way, why don't we take a look and see all the stuff that I got. I'll start with the free items, then I'll show you some of the things that I purchased. Now this was a major score here. This is the Logitech X56 HOTAS set. And I've got reviews of all this stuff in vertical format because that's what they like on the platform, which you can find on my Flip profile, and I'll also put these up on my Gadget Picks channel. And as you can see here, you get the throttle here along with the control stick. These are actually 2 separate devices in one box, so they connect independently to your computer. This retails for about $220 to $250, depending on where you buy it from. So this was a pretty nice score here from the free shelf, which was pretty cool. Let's take a look at the next item that I got for free. Now this, I promise, is the only Apple item on the list here. My wife was jealous of my Magsafe charger that I've been using on my phone, and I got her one here from Mophie. This is one of the higher-end wireless charging devices you can get. So this typically sells for about $100. It's got the Magsafe charger here, along with a regular Qi pad here for your AirPods or some other device. And there's a USB port in the back as well for something additional. I was a little disappointed because it kind of looked like you could charge a watch on it, at least from the photos that they had on the product listing. But as it turns out, you do need to use your watch's charger with it, and they have clips in the box to attach everything. But still, about $100 value here if you were to purchase it outright, and that was one of the 2 free items that I got. And the third one was supposed to be that monitor. I do have to go through later and pick out the other item that I'd like to replace it with. Maybe I'll do a follow-up with that when I get it. Now, as I mentioned, I had to spend over $150 to get the 3 free items, or what I hope will be 3 free items. And one of the items that I purchased was this Polaroid camera. And this is kind of a partnership product from the Parks Project and another company called Retrospect. And the Parks Project raises money for national parks here in the US. And Retrospect has been refurbishing vintage Polaroid cameras. So this is a legit Polaroid 600 camera here that has been reconstructed by Retrospect. It feels brand new. I think they put new plastic on it and everything. It uses the Polaroid color film that you can still get on Amazon and other places. They don't actually sell the film on Flip, so I had to go buy it from Amazon. But this will legitimately take instant photos of whatever I point the camera at here, as you can see. And there you go. So it just cost me who knows how much to get that print out of there, taking pictures of nothing. And this will work just like the old Polaroid cameras work because it is one. This was about $114 without the film. And as you can see here, it's pretty much your basic Polaroid camera. The image quality is not great out of these. I had one bum print in my pack of film there that I bought off of Amazon also. But it is pretty much exactly how it used to be because it is very much the same device here. So cool stuff, and one of the things that you can find on the platform. Now, the second item I purchased to hit my $150 was this mouse from ProtoArc. This sells for about $50, which seems like a lot of money until you see what this mouse does that other mice do not, which is that it has in its derriere here a little docking station. They call this the hub mouse. And what you've got here is an HDMI output, a USB port, and a USB-C pass-through for power. And it will pass through 60 watts of power. It works with the iPad. It works with laptops that have USB-C ports. The only real limitation here is that the HDMI is limited to only 30 frames per second at 4K, but it will do 60 at 1080p. But if you're somebody who is running around doing a lot of presentations, or you find yourself looking for a cheap docking solution just for keyboards, mice, and video, you've got it here. You can plug the keyboard into that port, plug your display in there, and of course the mouse is right here for you. Now the dock, in addition to being a dock, is also the radio receiver for the mouse. So it works over 2.4 gigahertz like other mice do. But you can also pair it up via Bluetooth to 2 other devices. So you can very easily hit the button here and swap it around. It's pretty lightweight. It feels a bit too light for its own good. And I don't like the clicking here. It doesn't click at all. It's just got like a very mushy feel to it with not a lot of travel. So if it had a firmer click, I'd be a little more enthusiastic about it. But if you're looking for something neat and different, this definitely is it. So this is the ProtoArc hub mouse for about $50. Now this next set of items came in from my first Flip order, which was subsidized with the allowance that they provided. Now this is a $40 solar power bank, and it's got 3 solar panels, as you can see here. There's not enough juice to charge the whole battery outside in only one day, but you can probably build up a quarter or half a charge of the 25,000 milliamp hour battery if you leave it out for a while. And there's also a way to charge it directly with a USB-C cable here at the bottom. The USB-C is only an input, but the other 2 USBs here can be used simultaneously for output along with its Qi charger here at the top. So a pretty handy power bank here that's pretty affordable. This item is pretty cool. This is from Movo. It is a smartphone cage. Now this costs about $30. I recently bought a different one a few weeks ago for more money, and it feels pretty good. It's got a nice solid feel to it. You don't have to use their mount here. These are all like standard tripod mounts, so if you have a mount that you prefer, you can put that in instead. But as you can see, it's got some levelers on here. You can run it horizontally or vertically. So pretty flexible there. And there are a ton of cold shoe and tripod mounts all over this thing. So you can very much deck this out with lights and microphones and everything else that you may want to use here. It feels pretty good and nice and solid, and a fun little production tool if you're doing a lot of video recording using your phone. Now this last item here is a Movo boom mic enclosure, and this was sent to me through their Desire feature, which I'll show you before we close out here. This is an all-weather shock and weather protector for your microphones. What you do is you mount the mic inside of the cage here, and it's got a nice little shock mount here to keep it from picking up handling noise. There's a cable that's built into the handle. That's my only gripe with this, is that if this cable goes bad, there's really no easy way to replace it. But basically you plug the XLR cable into your mic here, and then the cable comes out the other end for attaching to your camera. Then you slide it all back together here and put it up on a mount so you can go out in the field with it and then screw it back together. Additionally, they have a little dead cat, or a large dead cat for it as well, to further help with its wind performance. So this is a more affordable way if you're looking to do some outdoor higher quality audio than perhaps buying some of the more expensive stuff out there. And there's a lot of neat Movo stuff you will find on Flip if you are looking to up your production game a little bit without breaking the budget. You can see this in action with a microphone that they also sent over on my Flip reviews if you are curious. So all in pretty cool stuff. So before we close out though, let me show you how that Desire feature works, which allows you to gift items to other users. Now the Desire feature is pretty much a wish list. You can add items to your wish list and buy things for other users who have it on theirs. So if you're looking at a product here, you can tap on the Desire button, and then you can add it to your Desire list. Additionally, when you are in a product page, you can see who else desires it. So if I tap on that little button there, I can give it to any of these other users. Of course, I have to pay for it, but if you have enough credit, you could probably get it for less money. Now, when you receive one of these items, the user can decide to make themselves anonymous, or they can play a little game to try to get you to guess who gave it to you. So once the item arrives, you can go up here and ask who sent me this, and you can ask them a question or get a hint from them, or you'll know exactly who sent it to you. And you also have the ability to send a thank you video back to them to thank them for their gift to you. And of course, people can surprise you with stuff. So again, it's very social in its approach here, allowing people to review items, share their thoughts with each other, and then actually give each other things too. And of course, you can review those items once you receive them. So that'll do it for this look at Flip. I am not somebody who would typically shop this way, but the more I've been playing with this app, the more I kind of like it, just because I like the fact that they respect individual creators and voices. They're actually paying people fairly to upload content. In fact, I was able to cash out some of my earnings from the videos that I posted already. It's not a huge amount of money, but again, on a per video basis, especially for little items like this, it is very competitive right now with YouTube. How sustainable this is hard to say, but I think if they build a large enough universe here, I think it could perhaps be something that has some long-term viability. And if you were looking to get into product reviewing, this might be a good place to start, because you can find a way to subsidize the cost of acquiring items and have a built-in audience for the reviews that you produce. That's going to do it for this one. Until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters Brian Parker, Budley, Hot Sauce and Video Games, Steve Green, and Amda Brown. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to lon.tv/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/S.